If you have ever explored the world of programming, you might have learned about the existence of Python. No, not the snake, the language. Python is a programming language that has been gaining popularity in the last decades for its incredible features and simplicity. But more than that, it has become a tool to build some of the most popular functions on the internet. Want to know more? Let's dive in and understand the basics of Python. Python began in the late 1980s when developer Gildo von Rossum created a programming language named Python after the British show Monty Python. The language was designed to compete with and eventually become the successor of the iconic ABC programming language. However, even though the code was similar to ABC's core, Gildo von Rossum believed that his language had to be readable. At that time, Python was targeted to become a programming language for the Amoeba operating system. The first official Python version, 0.90, came out in 1991, followed by Python 1.0 3 years later. In December of 2000, Python 2 came out. To this day, there are still programmers that use it as their primary language. Nevertheless, in 2008, there was an update and Python 3.0 was inaugurated. Between versions 2 and 3, there were a few serious changes. This caused a small separation in the community. Firstly, when adopting version 3, the large libraries of open source projects were lost. Open source meant that anyone could see, use, or change the code for a program. Developers spent years building programs with Python 2, and now they were all rendered useless. Another change that came with version 3 were in the way that commands and functions were written. For example, this is how you print hello using version 2, and this is how you print it using version 3. Even though this might not seem much, those small changes can affect hours of work. Regardless of the changes, most people agree that by the end of 2020, Python 3 will completely have substituted Python 2. After all, it is the newer version. Now that we already know a little about Python's history as a language, let's understand why it's a programmer's favorite. As mentioned earlier, when Python was created, its primary purpose was to be readable. The syntax used by the language is very close to the English one, consequently making it easy to learn. Besides that, community of programmers that use this type of code are very cooperative and have various open source projects. Python is easily integrated with languages C, C++, and Java. Last but not least, Python is a very powerful programming tool as it can be used to do virtually anything. But now, you might be asking yourself, what can I do with Python? Python is mainly chosen as a language to build web applications, automate simple and complex tasks, and for development of artificial intelligence or machine learning. These features have opened a world of possibilities for programming, from making simple tasks workless to using AI to predict tennis matches. Some major companies that use this language include Facebook, Google, Instagram, Spotify, and Netflix. If you want to learn more about this language, there are various books that can teach you. One of my favorite is Python Crash Course, though it can be a little expensive. There are multiple hour-long videos on YouTube that should show you the basics of the language as well. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content or learned something, please leave a like. If you would like to know more or see other videos like this, please leave a message on the comments. Thank you and see you next.